today we'll be reviewing Avengers Infinity War. Now, Avengers Infinity War is directed by the Russo brothers, and it features mostly all of Hollywood, actually. I'm not going to go on saying a whole bunch of names because there are so many people in this movie. Like, I literally wrote a whole page of names, and I'm like, I can't say all these names at once. So, yeah, I'm going to say is this movie basically features all of Hollywood. So the plot to this movie is that we follow with it takes place like right after the events of Thor Ragnarok, which in Thor Ragnarok the end credits ended with like Thanos putting Thor's ship into his ship. Yeah. And so we start off basically from there, and like Thanos he okay, I'm not, okay, I'm just gonna let you guys know that, when I'm on this, I'll just let you guys know that this review will contain spoilers, but until the next half of the video. Like, the first half of this video, like, the beginning of this video will be totally spoiler free, so, you're fine right here. So, I'm gonna try really, really hard to say the plot without spoiling anything. Yeah. So all I'm gonna say with the spoilers is that I mean, not spoilers. All I'm gonna say with the plot is that we follow with this dude named Thanos, and what Thanos is like he's this alien creature. Like he's this alien creature who all he wants is just balance in the universe and fairness in the universe, like perfectly balanced, like all life should be. That's what he wants all life to be. Yeah, and so what he wants to do is he's on a quest to try to find all six of the Infinity Stones, and all six Infinity Stones were, well, mostly all six were set up in the other MCU movies, such as I'm gonna name a couple that had a couple of movies that had Infinity Stones in it, such as Captain America: The First Avenger, the first Avengers movie, Thor: The Dark World, Guardians of the Galaxy. What Doctor Strange I think had an Infinity Stone too. Avengers: Age of Ultron had Infinity Stones. What other movie had Infinity Stones? I'm trying to think. There's the Power Stone, the Time Stone, the Mind Stone, the Soul Stone. I don't think was in any other movies. It was just in this movie. There is the Space Stone. Let me think. What other stone is there? Oh yeah, the Ether. Yeah, I think those are all the movies that have Infinity Stones in it. All the Infinity Stones were basically set up in past MCU movies, and so yeah, Thanos he's on a quest for the Infinity Stones, because if he gets the Infinity Stones, he can like literally wipe out half of existence with just a snap. Like literally just a snap, he can wipe out all of existence, and so what else was I gonna say? Let me think. What else was there? Oh yeah, and so that's basically what he's doing. And so the Avengers try to reunite together and try to stop Thanos from doing this. And the Avengers even meet up with the Guardians of the Galaxy to try to stop Thanos. Yeah, that's basically the whole plot of Avengers: Infinity War. Now, do I like Avengers: Infinity War? Yes, I love Avengers: Infinity War. This movie is so badass, actually. Like, this is definitely top 3 MCU movies for me, actually. I love this movie so much. Like, I remember seeing this movie when it first came out. I was literally shocked. Like, I was literally shocked how this movie ended. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm just gonna say the ending was very, very dark. Yeah, I was just very shocked with the ending. Like, I was just like, I'm pretty sure everyone was in shock, actually. Like, everyone did not believe what they saw. And also, okay, guys, okay, I'm gonna start saying spoilers now, because I'm pretty sure everyone has seen this movie, actually. This is a very, very popular movie, I would say. Like, it's like, really, really popular. It's one of the highest grossing movies, actually. I think it's definitely the number 4 highest grossing movie ever, actually. I think Endgame made more than this movie did, actually, but this is the 4th movie that made the most money, and I'm pretty sure everyone's seen this. Like, literally everyone's seen this, I'm sure. So this review will contain spoilers. Like, this whole review now will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen this movie, please leave this review, but I doubt that you guys watching this review haven't seen this movie. Yeah. So, yeah, this movie's just so awesome. Like, what's really cool about this movie is there's a lot of action to it, actually. Like, this movie has so much action to it. Like, it's like destruction through this whole movie. Actually, it's like something happens once, like things keep happening like as each scene comes along, like a lot of dark stuff happens, a lot of action filled scenes come. Like this movie's literally like a roller coaster. Actually, like it's like you're on a you started from the beginning, and then boom, you're off. Yeah, that's basically what I would describe this whole movie. Yeah, it's just so badass. I love it so much. Yeah. Is there anything else I should say? Let me think. Let's get to the characters now. I mean, my major flaw, my one flaw with this movie that I don't take any grades from it. I don't take any flaws from this movie actually, just from this flaw, because this is exactly what the movie was trying to be. Actually, was just an Avengers movie with a lot of action and like with the Infinity Stones and all of that. And yeah, it was basically just trying to be an Avengers movie, like very action packed, with what the audience has always wanted. Yeah, yeah, that's basically. So my only flaw. Now let's get to my only flaw. My only flaw with this movie is there's not really any character development to it. Actually, like I mean, there's nowhere near as bad character development as Avengers: Age of Ultron had. This movie has some pretty good character development actually, but not a whole lot of it though. Yeah, but what really saves this movie is just the just the beautifully handled action scenes. Like they're all so beautifully handled. They're so beautifully directed, beautifully stunted, beautifully what else should I say? Just beautifully acted too. Just so beautifully acted with the action scenes. Like that's what really saves this movie as it goes along. Like just all the action and all the acting. Like that's what really saves this movie. Yeah, and so just because there's not much character development, I'm not gonna take off any grades of this movie. Actually, like no grades at all. What should I say? Is there anything else I should say? Okay, let's get on to the characters now. Now let's get on. The first character is Iron Man. Now I really loved Iron Man in this movie. Actually, like I thought he was so badass in this movie. Like I would definitely say he had the most him and Thanos had the most character development in this movie actually, and I really liked Iron Man in this movie. I think this is the best we've ever seen Iron Man in actually in like a Avengers movie or in any movie in the MCU actually. So yeah, he's just so cool in this movie. I love him so much in this movie. Is there anything else I should? Let me try to think of something I should say. Oh yeah, and I really like how they bring back Pepper too. Pepper was brought back in Spider-Man: Homecoming, but I didn't review that movie because like I said, I want to wait till Spider-Man: No Way Home comes out. So when that comes out, I want to review all the Spider-Man movies. But so yeah, I'm just gonna wait till that comes out, and then I'll review Homecoming and Far From Home. But they're not gonna be on this list of MCU movies that I'm reviewing right now. Yeah, and so okay, back to Pepper now. So I really liked how Pepper was in this movie, and they were talking about getting married and all of that. And they were even talking about having children and all of that. And I just thought that was so cool in the movie. Like just one little scene that talks about that. That's all you needed actually. Just one little scene that talked about their relationship, and that's what made it really cool actually. Yeah, just with one scene, like you already know like what Stark's character development is before he goes in this quest and all of that. And yeah, and that's really cool. Is there anything else about Stark I should say? Let me think. So yeah, and I just really love like Stark. He's always such a good guy. Like he's always such a good man. Like he's a really good superhero, and I really love how he's very eager to save the world again. Like he really wants to save the world. No, and I just really love how much he misses the Avengers. Actually, like I really love he's a bit depressed actually from the events of Civil War. Actually, because I would definitely call this movie a lot more of a sequel to Civil War than I would of Avengers: Age of Ultron. Actually, like it's a lot more of a sequel to Civil War actually, and that's why I call Civil War an early Avengers movie actually. So yeah, I would definitely say this is more of a sequel to Civil War. Yeah. So I really like how he's like he's still really sad about the events of Civil War, how this Avenger split up, and he can't really get into contact with Captain America anymore. Uh, yeah, I just really like that whole plot point of him, and he never talks to Captain America once in this movie. Actually, like he never even meets up with Captain America in this movie, and I really like that a lot about him. And is there anything else I should say? Let me think. Let me think. Anything else about Stark I should say before I get to the big point of him in the movie? Okay, I think I'm gonna get to the big point of him actually. Like, well, the big point of him is like I just really love how like he joined Spider Man and Doctor Strange to try to save the universe and to try to prevent Thanos from getting the stones and killing Thanos and taking off his gauntlet. And I really like how eager he is on doing that. Like, he is super eager on saving the world and not having him snap his his fingers. And yeah, he's just really badass with all those scenes he's in with Thanos. Like, I really love that scene with him and Thanos when they're in when they're in that one planet where the Nova Corps was at, that the planet that's all destroyed. You all may know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and I really like that scene with them where they're like where they're talking and then like they start fighting and then like he literally he uses all his technology to fight him and Thanos even destroys a whole planet to try to kill Iron Man, and like his technology is so strong and even that doesn't kill him. So yeah, that is just so cool. Yeah, and is there anything else I should say? So yeah, and his suit, I feel like his suit got even more upgraded in this movie actually. Like, not that it really matters, but I just find it really cool how his suit is so indestructible. Like, even the Infinity Stones can't budge, can't like break it or anything like that. Even a whole planet getting thrown at him can't break it. And like his technology is so strong that like he even has like he can even fly like a spaceship. And yeah, it's just so cool. Like his suit is just so cool. Is there anything else I should say about Stark? Let me think. Oh yeah, and his relationship with Spider-Man was so strong. Like, I loved his relationship with Spider-Man. How at first he was like, you can't join us. You have to go back to school, and then he takes him down. But then Spider-Man continues following him, and yeah, and I really like all the scenes with them too. Like, the scenes with them two were just so emotional, and I really like that scene where he was like, "You're an Avenger now." Yeah, that scene was that scene. That scene was pretty cool. Is there anything else I should say about him? Is it? Let me try to think if there's anything else about Stark I should say. Let me think. I think that's it about Stark actually. So yeah, Stark he was such a badass in this movie. And then we get on to Thor. I really dug Thor in this movie. Like, it's literally Thor right after Thor Ragnarok. Like, literally, this series literally bashes on Thor. Literally bashes the fuck out of Thor. Actually, like, it continues to bash the fuck out of Thor. Actually, it continues to go really hard on him. Like, this movie continues that, and it did that beautifully. Actually, like, just within the opening scene, you see Thor. You see Thor lose Heimdall, his best friend, and his brother Loki. Like, you literally see him lose his two people he loved most in this world, besides his parents that already died. Like, literally, the people he cared about most died. Like, literally, all his people that he cared about most died, and that is just so fucking emotional for Thor. And I'm like super surprised that Thor hasn't gone crazy yet. Like, yeah, but yeah, I'm just super surprised he hasn't turned into the bad guy yet. Yeah, so I just thought that was just so fucking dark how that was the opening scene of the movie, where literally like it starts with like Thanos. He already has an Infinity Stone. He has the Power Stone, and I'm pretty sure he must have stole that from Nova Corps actually, because Nova Corps was the last people to have that stone. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where he stole it from. And then he goes there to try to get the Space Stone, because he knows that they have the Space Stone, because the Space Stone is in the Tesseract, you know, that blue cube. Yeah, and then Thanos has Thor in his grip, and he's literally like torturing him with the Power Stone, and then Loki's like, because like Thanos is like, give me the Power Stone or else I'll kill him, and then Loki's like, all right, I'll give it to you, and then he gives him the Tesseract, and then he gets the Space Stone, and then from oh yeah, and I really like that and I really like that scene where Loki before he gives him the Space Stone, he's like, you're forgetting one thing, we have a Hulk. And then Hulk fights him, and like it's literally like Hulk versus Thanos, and that scene was so fucking badass with Hulk and Thanos fighting. And I really liked how one of Thanos' people was gonna fight him, but then Ebony Maw just goes, "It's okay, let him have his fun." Yeah, that scene was just so awesome. And then Thanos wins and Hulk loses. Like, Thanos defeats Hulk, and yeah, that scene was so cool. And then from there, Loki gives him the Space Stone, and then I really like when Loki was about to stab him, but then but then Thanos blocks that with the space stone. Like if he didn't have the space stone, I'm pretty sure he would have died right there. But he had the space stone, and so he blocked his swing with that. And so from there, he killed him. He killed Loki. He kills Loki by choking him out. And when I saw that scene, I literally cried. Actually, like I cried the first time I saw that scene because Loki, he's literally my second favorite villain in the MCU actually, and he's on my top 5 favorite MCU characters actually. Like I love Loki so much, and it still gets me very emotional watching it to this day. Like I still feel really sad that Loki died, and thank God we're gonna get a TV show for Loki, and I can't wait for that. It's gonna come out on June. I literally can't wait for that show. Like that's the show I'm most pumped up out of all the MCU, all the upcoming MCU shows that are coming out. That's the one I'm most pumped up for. Okay, yeah, just that whole scene with Loki, it was just so freaking emotional. And then Thor like literally screams like he's like no, yeah. I literally felt so bad for Thor in that scene. And Loki too, and yeah, I felt bad for everyone in that scene actually. Like everyone literally got their ass kicked so bad, and yeah, and then from there, Heimdall takes Hulk to Earth, and then Thor just goes, and then like the whole ship explodes, and then Thor just goes flying around in space. Yeah, that was just a very that was the perfect way to start off the movie. Actually, like the perfect way to start off the movie. Yeah, I love that whole scene so much. Okay, now let me think. Is there anything else I just say? So yeah, now let's get back to talking about Thor. Like I really love Thor in this movie. How he lost everything, like I said, and then he meets up with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he gets I love that scene where he mocks where Star-Lord mocks Thor, and he starts imitating his voice, like he starts talking like Thor. Like I thought that scene was really funny, where he was I forgot what they said, but he was talking like Thor, and then Thor was like, "You're copying my voice," and then he's like, "No, you're copying my voice." Yeah, that scene was funny. And then I really liked when he goes on a little quest to try to make a hammer. Like he wants to make a new sort of hammer made out of the same steel, and is as powerful as it. I forgot what that hammer was called, but it was like that axe. I know what his original hammer is called, Mjolnir, but I forgot what his axe hammer was called. Is there anything else I should say? So yeah, and I really like how he joins Rocket Raccoon and Groot to go to that planet. I forgot what that planet was called, but that planet literally like makes strong metal and all of that. And yeah, I really like that whole scene with him where he's trying to like make the hammer. And I really love that scene so much where he's trying to make the hammer, and he's trying where like he's trying to like where he's trying to open the push the switches, but while he's doing that, like the thing that's supposed to make it is burning him, and then like they don't even finish making it, and then from there Groot finishes the hammer, and then like that's what it becomes, like a hammer with a tree root, and it's as powerful as the original one, even more powerful actually. And yeah, I really like that whole scene with him, and then from there oh yeah, and I really like the main reason he did that was so he could kill Thanos for that, because Thanos literally killed the 2 people he loved most in this world, and he even told Thanos, "You're gonna die for that." And yeah, and that scene was really that line was really cool too. And then yeah, you really believe that you really believe Thor's vengeance. Yeah, you really believe his character and his vengeance that he has in this movie. And yeah, and that's what's really cool about him. And then once he makes that hammer, he's ready to fight now. He's ready to go in action and to kill Thanos and to kill all his people. And yeah, that whole sequence with him was just so badass. Is there anything else I should say about Thor before I move on? So yeah, just all the scenes with him in action are just so cool, and it's just so cool seeing him back with his hammer. Yeah. And it's so cool seeing him reunite with the Avengers. So like he reunites with the Avengers in Wakanda, and that whole scene was so cool. And I really like when he meets up with Captain America, and then he's like, and then Thor's like, "I see you copied my beard," and then Captain America's like, "Well, nice haircut." And then he's like, and then Thor's like, "Have you met my new friend, the tree?" And then Groot stabs the whole line of Thanos' people, and he's like, "I am Groot," and then Captain America's like, "I am Steve Rogers." Yeah, that scene was funny. Is there anything else about Thor I should say? Yeah, I think that's it about Thor. So yeah, Thor, he was really cool in this movie. Now we get on to Hulk. So what I really love about the MCU movies actually is that each MCU movie as it goes along changes the Hulk actually. Like, I think I mentioned this in my Avengers Age of Ultron review, but or did I not? I don't remember, but excuse me. But as each Avengers movie goes along, or each movie that Hulk is appearing in, like they change his character more and more, and they improve on his character actually, because like we don't want to see Hulk going like, oh, Hulk smash, like so like over and over again in all the movies he's in, because then it's just gonna get boring. And so they always switch his character around to make it not boring, to make the Hulk not boring, to make him cool, like to make him like to improve on him. Yeah, because like in Avengers: Age of Ultron, Hulk just left Earth. Hulk left Earth because like he felt like Earth hated him, and he felt very emotional for Black Widow, and he left Earth. And then in Thor Ragnarok, he could talk. Like he could talk in Thor Ragnarok. And then in this movie, Hulk is hiding. Like Hulk is not, like Bruce Banner is not Hulk in this movie. Like Hulk is hiding inside him. Like he does not want to come out at all. Like he's very scared. And this movie's mostly just Bruce Banner. And that's what's really cool about the MCU. What they do, like they just change on him and improve on him so much. And then they improve on him even more in the next installment, which I'll get into that right after this review. Okay, I'll get into it tomorrow. Or yeah, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, but what's cool about this movie is we see Bruce Banner. Like this is the first movie where we mostly just see Bruce Banner and not the Hulk. Like Hulk just once in this movie actually, and that's when he fights Thanos in the beginning. And then yeah, it's just so cool seeing just him as Bruce Banner, and just seeing him as just Bruce Banner, like the scientist, and like him having so much care for saving the Earth and all of that. Yeah, and that's just really cool about him, is that he's just a human in this movie. Yeah, and then I thought that scene was really cool when he had to use Hulkbuster instead of Hulk, and then he was like. And then like he was even thinking Hulkbuster is better than the Hulk, and then he was like, this thing beats the crap out of the Hulk, and then he trips. Yeah, that scene was funny. Is there anything else I should say? Oh yeah, and I really like that scene where he's trying to get Hulk out of him, but then he's like, no, like yeah, I like those scenes a lot. And then and then there's one scene where he says that, and then right after that, like the Hulkbuster like takes the big dude and then like flies him up into the air and explodes him, and then Bruce is like, Hulk, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, oh yeah, and another thing about this movie too is this movie's very, very funny actually. Like this movie has a lot of humor in it actually. Like it's not just a dark MCU movie, because it is a dark MCU movie, but it also has a lot of humor too and comic relief, which is what makes this movie work even more. Yeah, and this movie is very, very funny actually. Like a lot of the jokes in this movie really land for me actually. Like I love all the jokes in this movie. I'll get more into the jokes as I'm talking to the characters. I'll get into all their jokes, because I'm pretty sure every character in this movie has a good joke. Yeah, it's just so yeah, that's just a really big positive about this movie. Is there anything else I should say about Hulk? So yeah, it's just really cool seeing him, like he really wants to save Earth, and he knows about Thanos, and it's really cool seeing him reunite with the Avengers after 2 years. Yeah, it's so cool, and they're looking at him like, Bruce, we missed you, and we thought you run away. Yeah, and I really like that scene where he meets up with Black Widow, and like they make eye contact, and that they make sort of like a love connection. But like, well, what I don't like about the MCU is they never bring back Black Widow and Hulk's love connection ever in the MCU. I think that would have been a bit cooler actually, but since what the MCU was going for and what it needed to be, I think it was fine. Yeah. Is there anything else about the about Hulk, or Bruce Banner, I should say? Oh yeah, and yeah, it's just really cool seeing him like being a scientist and all of that, and like knowing how to do things and all of that. Yeah. Let me think. Let me think if there's anything else I should say. And it's really cool, like him telling like the Avengers and everyone about Thanos, that Thanos is coming and all of that. Like they're like he's always the one to warn them about Thanos, and to have their stuff ready for Thanos is coming. Yeah, and it was really cool having him be the dude to do that. Now let's get on. Okay, that's enough talking about Hulk. Now let's get on to Captain America, which I definitely think this is the weakest point of Captain America we've ever seen actually, because Captain America, he wasn't really emotional in this movie actually. I mean, I still love Captain America. Don't get me wrong, I love Captain America actually. Like, look at my fucking shirt. I love Captain America. He's literally my favorite actually. But with this movie, it kind of makes Captain America I would definitely say this is the weakest point of Captain America we've ever seen in all the movies he's appeared actually. because like he doesn't have much character development actually, especially since he was the main point of Captain America Civil War. Like I think he should have had a lot more character development in this movie than he had in this than he had. Yeah. But he barely even had a character in this movie. But all he was just Captain America fighting and in action and all of that. And him being a badass. Yeah, yeah, and that was cool for this movie actually. Like, I thought that was still pretty cool. Like how Captain America was just still like fighting and all of that, and he was just. And he had a little bit of emotional scenes here and there, only a little bit of them in here and there, but not really much, not really a huge character to this movie. But I still really loved all the scenes where he's in action, where he has the two hammers on his arms, and then he's taking out all of Thanos' people with it. So yeah, all those scenes were really cool, and I really like when he meets up with Bucky after a long time, and he's like, "Hello, old buddy," in Wakanda. Yeah, and I really like how what was I saying? Let me think. Let me think. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, I really like how he was the one to give kind of give this like kind of like I don't know how to call it, but he was sort of like an exposition person actually. I would say not exposition. Like what's the word for it? Like I can't think of the proper word to for it. I'll just say that he was the one to like progress the plot more, because like he kept giving us plot points and all of that. Like he was the one in charge of like bringing in Vision, and for him to like, and he was the one with the idea to go to Wakanda to take the stone out of Vision like safely. And yeah, and that was cool for him. I think that's it about Captain America. So yeah, Captain America, he was cool in this movie, but definitely the weakest part of Captain America ever in the ones he's appeared. One more thing about Captain America before I talk about all the other characters. I like his beard a lot. His beard was cool actually. Yeah, his beard was cool. Yeah. So now let's get on to the main point of the movie. I don't know how long I'm into this video, but I know I'm in this video a pretty long time actually, and I haven't even talked in depth about Thanos yet. Okay, now let's talk in depth about Thanos. Now Thanos, he is definitely my favorite. Like it's not even an opinion actually. It's a fact. He's the best villain in the whole MCU actually. Like literally without a doubt, he's everyone's favorite villain in the MCU. He's a lot of people's favorite villain in general actually. Like yeah, just Thanos, he's such a badass in this movie, and I really love him in this movie. He was like I don't know, I don't even know what to say actually. Like I don't even know how to describe him actually. He was awesome, fucking awesome. I love Thanos in this movie. Like he is definitely my favorite like aspect of the movie, my favorite part of the movie. Yeah, Thanos, he was just so cool, and I really like his whole character, how he just wants to bring peace and balance to the universe, like balance with the universe to snap the stones, and then after that all he's gonna do is just sit on a planet and watch the sunset. That's his whole plan, and that was a really really dark plan actually, and I loved how and that was just I just loved that whole plan of his. And I think like his villain like literally was super strong actually, and I loved his relationship with Gamora. How he loved, like Gamora was the only person he legit loved actually. Like he loved her as a daughter though. Like she's the only person he ever cared about, and I really liked that a lot about him. And I love all the scenes with him and Gamora, and I really like that scene when he first meets Gamora where he shows her the knife, and then the knife is like perfectly balanced on her finger, and then he tells her perfectly balanced, like all life should be. Yeah, that scene was really cool. And then from there, that's basically what you would describe his plan actually. Yeah. Let me think. So yeah, and all the scenes with him, like telling her like, where's the soul stone? Like you're such a bad. Like I like the scene where he's like, you're such a bad liar. I never even taught you it. That's why you're so bad at it. Yeah, that scene was pretty cool. Is there anything else about Thanos I should say? Oh yeah, his whole look was really cool too. Like I really liked his whole look, his whole pink look and all of that. And Thanos, he was already set up in the past MCU movies actually. Like he was in the end credits of the first Avengers and he was also a character like in Guardians of the Galaxy too. Which did I mention that in my Guardians of the Galaxy review? I don't think I did, but I really liked him in Guardians of the Galaxy too. Like he was cool in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like yeah, and then he was set up in the end credits of Avengers: Age of Ultron 2, and of course the end credits of Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, so he was basically set up throughout the whole universe, and then getting to him from here was perfect actually. Yeah, just setting him up to here was perfect. Let me think. Anything else about Thanos? I should say. So yeah, and all the scenes with him with the stones are so badass. Like that scene where like all the scenes with him first getting the stones are so badass, and him using the stones are so badass. Like I love that scene where he's fighting Iron Man and the Guardians, Iron Man, Spider Man, and the Guardians of the Galaxy in that planet, and then he's fighting them with the stones, and like he even like he makes with Star Lord, Nebula, and Drax like stop in midair and then fall with the space stone. Yeah, and then he even uses the ether or the reality stone, the red stone, to like make the planet look more pretty, like just say like to symbolize like how the world's gonna be like when he snaps his fingers. Yeah, and so what was I gonna say? So yeah, and I really like when he uses the reality stone to turn the big rock that the big meteor that's gonna hit him into a bunch of bats, and then to save himself. And then yeah, that whole scene with the ether was really cool. And I really like when he uses the power stone too to take out the planet, like I said before. And I really like when he uses it to oh wait, that's the next one actually. It's not this movie. So he uses the okay. I'm trying to think of when he uses the stones. Let me think. He uses the power. Yeah, I said the power, the space stone. Um, uh, he doesn't use the mind stone much because that's the last stone he got. But with the soul stone, I definitely think the soul stone's my least favorite out of all the stones actually, because we never really see what the soul stone does actually. Because like the soul stone, all it does is like I mean it doesn't do anything much besides for what to get it for, like to get the stone for, like to like how to get it, like that's the only emotional scene for it. That's literally the only legit good the legit cool thing it does with how to get it. Yeah, but when you have it, you don't really see what it does much. Like yeah, I think definitely the soul stone is my least favorite actually. What other stone does he use? I said the reality stone. Oh yeah, the time stone. Yeah. The scene where he uses the time stone was really cool when he turned back time to kill Vision himself. That scene was really cool. Um, let me think. Let me think. I think that's all. I think that's all the stones in the movie. So yeah, all the scenes where he uses the stones were really cool. And now let's get to where he gets the stones actually. That scene where he gets the ether from the collector, I thought was really cool actually. Like I thought that scene was really cool, but like he already had the ether because like the Guardians of the Galaxy went to nowhere to try to look for Thanos. And then Thanos, like, it shows how he got the ether from the collector, because the collector was the one that to have it last. And then like that's basically how he got it. He took it from the collector, and then but that whole thing was how he got it was an illusion actually that he used with the ether. And I thought that scene was really cool, and I really liked that scene. Let's get in a little bit into that scene. I like that scene a lot where he spots Gamora and then he wants to take her with her, but then before that Gamora was like, if Thanos takes a hold of me, please shoot me. And so I really like how Star-Lord was very eager to shoot Gamora, but he actually was gonna shoot Gamora. Excuse me. He was actually gonna shoot Gamora, but actually just bubbles came out because of what's his name, Thanos using the ether. Yeah, so that whole scene I thought was spectacular. He gets the ether, and then what stone does he get after that? Oh yeah, he gets the soul stone. Now with the soul stone, I thought that scene was so sad actually. Like that whole scene that just got me very very emotional, because how he gets the soul stone is he goes to planet Morag to try to, because like that's where Gamora said it was at. And so when he gets to Morag, the Red Skull's there. And when I saw the Red Skull, like I was like, at first I didn't know who he was, but then I was like, oh wait. Like at first I was thinking he looked familiar, and then I was like, oh wait, that's the fucking Red Skull. I think that's the fucking Red Skull from Captain America: The First Avenger. What? He's alive? Yeah, when I first saw that, I was in shock actually, and I really like how they brought him back, cause like in the end of Captain America: The First Avenger, you really don't know what happens to him actually. Like you don't really know what happens to him, but this movie perfectly explains that how when he held the Tesseract, it sent like it didn't banish him, it didn't disintegrate him, it's teleported him to Morag, and so he cursed that place. And I thought that was a really cool explanation. Like that was like such a really creative explanation to what happened after first Avenger. Yeah, and so once Thanos gets to Morag, the Red Skull was telling him like what you seek lies beneath you. You have to lose for what you love to in order to get the Soul Stone, a soul for a soul. And then from there, Gamora was laughing because she knows it's gonna be her, and then she's just like just she's offending Thanos, and she's just like, you care for no one and all this shit. And she just offending him, and then he's crying, and then she's like, really, tears, and then Red Skull's like, they're not for him. Like they're for her actually. And I thought that scene was just so fucking sad, where he's just like, where he tells her like, I have to complete my quest. Like I must prevent anything from doing it, even for you. He says something like that. Like he says something like that. I don't think that's the exact thing he says, but he says even for you. And then from there he takes Gamora. Like he literally carries Gamora and then drops her down the mountain, and then that whole scene, like everything about that scene was so fucking sad. Like it was so sad having him kill his own daughter actually, like the one thing he cared about most in this world. He killed her, and that scene was just thought was just so fucking sad. Like it literally the first time I saw it, it literally made me cry. It still makes me cry to this day actually. Like it still makes me cry. It's just so sad with that scene. And I really loved Gamora too. Like Gamora, she was such a badass in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and having her die was just so sad. Like it got me so emotional. And the song that played in that scene, what got me is what the song that played in that scene literally was perfect, and that made me even more emotional too. Yeah, just everything about that scene was so sad. Yeah, and yeah, but that's the only cool thing that the Soul Stone ever did, like I said. Let me think. Yeah, so that whole scene was just like I said, I think it was definitely the most emotional scene of the movie, actually. Wait, but I'll have to think. I'll actually have. Oh wait, yeah, I'll say that it's the most emotional scene, actually. Wait, fuck. I hate when I do this, when I hesitate too much, because I thought the scene where Loki died too was very emotional too, but I'll just say this scene was emotional mostly just due to the score with that scene too. Um, Let me think. Now let's get on to. Oh wait, I haven't finished talking about Thanos yet. So he gets the Soul Stone, and then when he gets the time. Oh, when he gets the Time Stone, I thought that was very like it leaves you so much questions in your mind actually, like because like how he gets the Time Stone is like he's fighting the Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and Iron Man. Like he's fighting them. I think that planet they're on is nowhere, I think, but I don't think it's nowhere actually. It's the Nova Corps planet actually. Let me think. Let me think. Oh yeah, so they're just fighting Thanos in that scene just to try to take the gauntlet out of him, and that whole scene was fucking awesome. Actually, like I love that scene so much. Where Star-Lord he puts a grenade on Thanos's back, and then he teleports, and then he goes boom, and then he teleports, and then Thanos's back explodes, and then what else goes on in that scene, and then what's his name, and then Star-Lord even puts like this purple thing to like make his arm go down, and then what else goes down in that scene, and then Doctor Strange even makes a lot of versions of himself like come to life, like so much versions of himself to tie himself. So yeah, that the whole to tie Thanos, yeah, with his like this orange thing. I forgot what it was. I don't know what it's called, but that orange thing, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that scene was pretty cool. What else goes down in that scene? Oh yeah, and I really like when Doctor Strange is teleporting Spider-Man. Like he's like kick, punch, web swing, tackle or something like that. He's like kick, punch. Yeah, that whole scene was really cool. And then Thanos gets a hold of him and chokes him out for a bit. And he's just like, you. He's like a bug or something like that, or a spider. Yeah, that scene was pretty cool. Let me think. What else happens in that scene? Let me think. What else happens in that scene? Let me think. Let me think. And then I think after that, then and I really like when they have Thanos under their hold, like they weaken Thanos because they're trying to take the gauntlet out of him, and then Mantis is even on top of Thanos, like trying to make him sleep, but it's too much power for her. She can't really make him sleep because all she can do is just make him be not active or just rest for a minute. Yeah. Let me think. What else is there? Oh yeah, and that scene was very emotional actually when Star-Lord was like, "Where is Gamora?" And then he's like, He was like, I killed Gamora and all this stuff, and he's like, I had to. And then from there, that's what makes Star-Lord really mad. And then he's even punching Thanos, and Star-Lord literally ruins their chance of getting the gauntlet out, because they literally almost get the gauntlet out, but then Star-Lord punches him, and then that's what makes him wake up, and then he gets the gauntlet back on him. And yeah, that whole scene was just very emotional. I love that scene so much. And then from there, and then I really like from there, Thanos versus Iron Man. That whole scene was so cool, and I really liked when Iron Man just kept on taking growing a lot of stuff from his suit to destroy him, and he even takes out a knife too. But then Thanos takes the knife and then stabs Iron Man. And then when I first saw that scene, I was just I was literally in shock. I literally thought Iron Man was gonna die in that scene, because literally, I literally thought he was gonna die, because it's been 10 years since we've seen Iron Man on screen, and I thought it was I literally was in shock. I was I literally felt so bad for Iron Man. But then in that scene, Doctor Strange gives up the time stone to spare Iron Man's life, and so Doctor Strange gives Thanos the time stone, and that scene, that scene with him getting the time stone was super cool. Yeah, and then and then he teleports to Wakanda. Yeah, that whole scene was really cool. And then Iron Man was like, why the hell would you do that? And then he's like, we're in the end game now. Yeah, that whole scene, I love that line so much. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? About Thanos. So yeah, and then how he gets the oh yeah, I already said how he gets the Mind Stone, where he reverses time. Yeah, that scene was really cool actually. And then but I really like what happens before that when he gets to Wakanda. He's literally taking out all the people that are fighting him in Wakanda. He takes out Hulkbuster in a second by the Space Stone. He takes out he literally knocks out Captain America. Oh yeah, that scene was really cool when him and Captain America were fighting. He was actually hurting Thanos, and then he even held Thanos's grip. He was holding his grip. And yeah, that scene was really cool. And then I really like when he's about to fight I think he's about to fight Falcon, but then he just takes him out like he's nothing. Let me see. And he's about to fight Black Panther too, but then he takes him out like he's nothing. He literally takes everyone out if they're nothing. And that scene, literally, it literally brought so much emotion to that scene. How he was just taking out everyone with just a second. Yeah, and you can just tell from there, this guy's the fucking bad guy. He's the fucking bad guy. Yeah, and that scene was so cool. And then from there, Wanda destroys the Mind Stone, but then Thanos he turns back time and then takes the Mind Stone himself, and then from there, that was really cool how he got that. But I'm not gonna talk about what happens after that scene until a bit actually. Okay, now let's get on to another character, Spider-Man. Spider-Man, he was really, really cool in this movie. I loved Peter Parker in this movie, actually. I thought he was both funny, lighthearted, and awesome. Yeah, I loved him so much in this movie. He was literally this is the perfect Spider-Man actually. Tom Holland, he is Spider-Man, and I really love all the scenes where he's in it's not all the scenes actually, it's the whole movie actually, where he's in the Iron Spider suit with him in that suit was just so cool, and it perfectly like that was the perfect this was the perfect movie for him to be in the Iron Spider suit. And yeah, just all the scenes with him and Iron Man I thought were very emotional. I really liked all the pop culture references he gives to Iron Man and everyone else. Excuse me, I just ate a bit of snacks earlier. Um, so yeah, and I really like that scene where they know how to like free Doctor Strange and to kill Ebony Maw, and it was basically Spider Man's idea. He was like, "Hey, you ever see this really old movie Aliens?" And then they take and then they break the ship, and then they take Ebony Maw to space, and he dies like that. But then they're able to save Doctor Strange. Yeah, that I thought that scene was really cool, and I really like the scene where he meets the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Star Lord's telling Spider Man about Earth and all this stuff. Like, is David Hasselhoff still American Idol, and is Footloose still the greatest movie ever made? And then Spider Man's like, it never was. Yeah, that scene was funny. Is there anything else about Spider-Man I should say? So yeah, just all the scenes with him in action were just so awesome. I loved all the scenes with him in action. Is there anything else I should say? Let me think about Spider-Man. So yeah, I just thought all the scenes with him all the scenes with him were just so badass. And now let's get on to Star-Lord. Now Star-Lord, I love Star-Lord in this movie. Like, all of you may know that Star-Lord is my favorite Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, because I in my reviews I was saying he was a bit relatable to me actually. Well, mainly in part Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. But I don't really find much of relatable to him in this movie, to be honest. But he's still really, really cool actually. Like he's still my favorite actually. Like, I love all the scenes with him with Gamora. Like, all those scenes were really cool actually. Like, and I really, really love how this was the first movie to have Gamora and Star-Lord kiss each other, them to first fall in love. And yeah, I just thought that was so cool how they first fell in love in this movie and they first kissed each other. Yeah, that was just so beautifully handled. And yeah, and I really like how right after that, Drax is like eating snacks, like he's just going slow, eating snacks, and he was just like, I didn't think you guys knew I was here. Yeah, that thing was funny. Is there anything else I should say about Star-Lord? So yeah, he was just very emotional. It's like, especially after he had just fallen in love with Gamora. Now he cares about her even more, and he wants nothing bad to happen to her. But so much bad shit happened to her. Like, he was literally willing to kill her. But then Thanos stopped him from the ether. I said that already. So yeah, I just really love how caring for Gamora he is, especially since they're in love. And I love, yeah, I already said this before, the scene where he gets really emotional on Thanos. Yeah, and I just really love how after that, like, he's just very, very eager to kill Thanos now. Like, he's just going after Thanos now. Like, he's shooting at Thanos and all of that. And yeah, yeah, just all the scenes with him were really cool. Is there anything else I just say about Star-Lord? So yeah, and I just really like how it leaves off to how to after the second one, how he's just still like this whole team is his family still, like, and I really like that a lot about him. And even like Mantis it has been with them for all along too. Is there anything else I should say? And I really like how he still loves music a lot. That's when he first gets introduced, when they're listening to the music while driving through space. And I really like the whole what is it called? Let me think. What else should I say? And I really like his whole team up with Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and Iron Man. Like, I thought he made a really cool team up with them three. Let me think. Anything else I should say about Star-Lord? Let me think. I think that's it about Star-Lord. So yeah, Star-Lord, he was awesome in this movie. And then we get on to Gamora, which I thought Gamora was super cool in this movie actually. Like, I already said a lot about Gamora actually, but I'm just gonna say she was super cool in this movie. I really loved how she hated her father actually. Like, she hated her father, like, but her father loved her though, but she didn't even love him back. Like, and I thought that was really cool I thought that was really cool for that she didn't even love her father. She did not care for him. Like, she did not want him finding all the stones. And I really liked that a lot about her. Like, she was very eager to do anything for him to not find the stones. Yeah. Well, mostly anything. Is there anything else I should say about her? Let me think. So yeah, just her connection with her father, I thought was very, very strong, like I said. Let me think. And I really liked how like she even tells Thanos herself like I hated everything about you. I hated this room. I hated having to always fight. Yeah, I just yeah I thought that was pretty emotional for her to say. Let me see. Anything else I should say about Gamora? I think that's it about Gamora. So yeah, and I really liked how she was Thanos' weakness actually, basically Thanos' weakness. Now let's get on to Black Widow, which Black Widow, she's still a really big of a badass in this movie. Actually, like she's still a badass in this movie. She's still a baddie in this movie. Like I said in my Civil War review, and my yeah, all of you may know she is my number one celebrity crush. I love her so much. Like she is still super cute in this movie. Like I love her with her white hair so much. Like she is still such a baddie in this movie with fighting all of Thanos' people, where she fights that girl. You know that you know the girl that works with Thanos. Yeah, I really like that scene where she fights her. So yeah. Just all the scenes with her in action were just so badass. Yeah, that's all I have to say about Black Widow. Yeah, she's just so badass in this movie. Now let's get on to Wanda. I really loved Wanda in this movie, actually. I really loved how Wanda fell in love with Vision, how she fell in love with Vision, and Vision was able to turn into a human. Like he was able to not be pink anymore. Like he could turn himself into a human. And I thought that was really cool. And I really loved how they lived in a house together. Like they lived in this like house in England. And yeah, I thought that yeah, just that whole aspect was really cool, how they lived with each other. And then like in the movie, like she's so afraid of losing him because like they're just walking around in London, and then out of nowhere Vision gets stabbed because like they're trying to steal the stone from him. So yeah, and then she's trying to fight them, which I thought that scene was very cool actually, where she's fighting them and the Thanos' people in London, and then like she's about to get and then like she's about to okay what I'm gonna say is that she's still fighting them, but then in the back Captain America shows up, and then Falcon, and then Black Widow, and then they help her, and that scene was just so badass. And then Captain America even catches the spear they throw at him. Yeah, that scene was really badass. Is there anything else I just say? So yeah, that scene was really cool, and so yeah, and I just really love how Wanda in this movie, like she's so afraid of losing Vision. Like literally, Vision is the number one person she cares for. Actually, she's super afraid of losing Vision, and she does not want to do anything to kill Vision. Like, and I really love how like they want to take the stone out of Vision, but they think that even if the stone gets out of Vision, like there's still a chance that Vision could survive. Like there's still a chance that we could still get a version of Vision without the stone. Yeah, and I really like how they're so eager to do that. Like they're very eager to have to just take the stone out of Vision and to destroy it. Yeah, that whole aspect was really cool, and I really love how Vision is so scared. Like Wanda is so scared for Vision dying. Yeah, and the ending where she has to kill Vision, I just thought was super emotional. Actually, like I like it was very emotional actually when she had to kill Vision in the end, and then Thanos turns back time, and then he kills him himself. Yeah, that scene was very emotional. I already talked about that scene. So yeah, I really loved Wanda in this movie. Now let's get on to Black Panther, which Black Panther, no, not much character development, but he was still really cool. Chadwick Boseman, he is Black Panther actually. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, I can't say that. I can't say that. Like, yeah, I literally can say that like all day actually. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, I just love Chadwick Boseman so much. I'm still very sad that he died. Yeah, so yeah, just him in this movie. Black Panther. He was still really cool in this movie. I loved Black Panther so much. I loved all the scenes where he was in action. I loved how he always like he was in charge of Wakanda, and he was having them defeat all of Thanos's monsters. Yeah, just those scenes were super cool. Yeah, and I really like the scene where he's like this is no place to die. I thought that scene was actually pretty funny, actually. So yeah, Black Panther. He was really cool in this movie. Perfect. Yeah, badass. Yeah, Black Panther. I loved him in this movie. Now let's get on to Vision. I already talked about Vision. I really liked how they try to get the stone out of him. Yeah, that's all I have to say about Vision. I liked him in this movie. I really liked how even himself was scared too, and he was really eager to get the stone out of him too, and he didn't even care if he died. He just cared if he saved the universe and stopped Thanos. Yeah, so yeah, that was really cool about Vision. Yeah, Vision, he was awesome. Oh, now let's get on to Rocket, which I really love Rocket. Rocket is still perfect. Like, Rocket, he's still perfect. I love Rocket, actually. Like, I love him so much. Like, I love all the scenes with him. I love his friendship with Thor, how him and Thor are friends, and, like, they're flying around space talking, and then and then Rocket even gives Thor an eye, because in Thor Ragnarok, he lost his eye, because Hela, chopped it off. Yeah, and I really like when he gives him the eye, and then he's like, everything seems all dark, and he's like, it's not, and then Rocket's like, it's not the eye, it's actually what's happening. Yeah, that scene was really cool, and I really like how Rocket was very eager to help Thor with the hammer and all of that, and yeah, and he wanted to go there to make stuff for himself too, but yeah, I think they gave him like one thing, like a gun or something like that. Correct? Yeah, I don't think that happened, but I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that happened, but yeah, I don't think that happened actually. Yeah, but I really like how he was eager to help Thor, and I really loved him in the Battle of Wakanda, where he's just taking out all of Thanos' monsters, and I really love when Bucky lifts up Rocket so he can shoot all the monsters, and I think Bucky and Rocket would literally make the perfect team up. Actually, like they literally make the perfect team up, and I would really love to see a movie about, or a TV show about Bucky and Rocket. That would be really cool. Actually, like Marvel actually make a movie like that. Marvel actually try to do it actually. So yeah, Rocket, he was still such a badass. He's still the same as always. Such a badass. He's basically like he's as perfect as Heath Ledger's Joker, I would say. Yeah. Same with everyone else too in this movie actually. Now let's get on to Drax. With Drax didn't oh yeah, I really love Drax in this movie actually. He had a little bit of character development, how he wanted to kill Thanos because like he wants to kill everyone that killed his family. They already killed Ronan, but now he wants to kill Thanos, and like, so yeah, I really like that about him. How he really wants to kill Thanos, but he can't because of how strong Thanos is already. Yeah, and I think Drax, he's still very funny in this movie. Actually, like I love Drax a lot. Like he's super funny, and he's still really funny in this movie. Like actually, like I love all the lines he gives in this movie. Actually, I really like why is Gamora line. Yeah, that scene was that was very funny from him. Yeah, just Drax. He's still such a badass. Now let's get on to Bucky. Excuse me. Like I said before, whenever I make long videos, I just start coughing. Because if I talk for so long, like I just start coughing. Now let's get on to Bucky, which I really love Bucky in this movie. Actually, like he didn't have much of a huge character, like much like a lot of other characters in this movie, but he was still really cool. Actually, like Bucky's literally top 10 MCU characters for me. Actually, like I still really love Bucky actually, like, and I love his new metal arm, like his new metal arm made from Wakanda. Yeah, I really liked that a lot, and I really liked how he sticks around in Wakanda, and I really liked him in action in the Battle of Wakanda. So yeah, he was really cool in this movie. Now let's get on to Groot. I really loved Groot in this movie. Actually, I thought it was funny how Groot was always on his Defender arcade game. Yeah, I thought that was really funny, and I really love that scene where he sees how weak Thor got from trying to build his new hammer, and then he literally gets off his game, and then he makes Thor's hammer, and yeah, that whole scene with him was just so fucking awesome. I already talked about that. I already mentioned that scene. Yeah, so yeah, all the scenes with him were just really cool, and I really loved him in the Battle of Wakanda. Yeah, he was still really cool, and it was really cool seeing him as a teenager now. Now let's get on to is there any other characters I should say in this movie? And any other characters? Let me think. I don't think there's any more characters I would say besides just two little characters, which I'll just get really close, which I'll just say really little about. There was the dwarf in that planet that Thor was making the hammer in. I forgot his name, but he was cool. Like I liked how he was. Yeah, I liked him. He was cool. Now let's get on to who else? What else? What other characters is there? Oh yeah, I really liked Nebula in this movie too. Nebula was in this movie for yeah, she was in this movie a bit actually, and I really liked her in this movie actually, and I really liked how we see what Thanos does to Nebula actually. Like Thanos literally experiments on Nebula, and he makes her into a robot. Like he makes her into a robot to help him out and all of that. Like he just uses her as like as like a thing, actually, just a thing, like not even a person. Like he uses her as a thing, and I think that's very, very dark, actually. Like I feel really bad for Nebula, actually. And I just thought that was really cool to see that side of Nebula, actually. And I really like that scene where she joins Iron Man and the Guardians of the Galaxy in the end to try to defeat Thanos, and he even knows that Thanos killed her sister. Yeah, just her in action in the end was really, really cool. Uh, Anyone else? I should say. Okay, now let's get on. Okay, just one more character, actually. Abani Ma. The the dude. The one that looks like Squidward. Yeah, I thought he was cool, actually. He was really cool. I loved all the lines he gave in the movie. I really like the line where he tries to take the time stone out of his necklace, but he's like, "I'll take it off your corpse." Yeah, and yeah, just all his lines were really cool. Um. Let me think. So yeah, he was cool, and then yeah, all of Thanos' people were cool, actually. The girl, the big dude, yeah, all his people were cool. Yeah, I think that's all the characters in this movie, actually, all the major characters. Yeah. Now let's get on to okay. I know this video is pretty long, but I'm just gonna say a couple more things. Now let's get on to the setting, the scenery to this movie, which I thought the scenery was super beautiful, actually. Like all the scenes, all the places they went to looked so eye popping, actually. Like all the places they went to, like Wakanda still looks eye popping. The planet where they fight Thanos looks super, super cool, actually. Like this movie is very colorful, actually. Like it's very colorful, and yeah, it's just very eye popping. Like I love that a lot, but this movie is just so eye popping, actually. Is there anything else to say? So yeah, they did a really good job with the scenery. And then the actors, like all the actors were perfect in this movie, actually. I love all the performances in this movie. They were all perfect. Like it was literally the perfect performances, actually. Like all the performances, they were super cool. Like I loved all the performances. Like they all acted, like they all gave it their all with this movie, and I really loved their performances. And with their performances, you really believe their characters too. Yeah. And then we get on to the soundtrack to this movie, which I thought the soundtrack was so awesome. Like I love the soundtrack to this movie, actually. Like I'm looking at you, the song from when Gamora died. Yeah, I literally every song that plays in this movie I just thought was super cool, actually. Like I love the soundtrack of this movie so much. Like literally the soundtrack fitted in with this movie perfectly, and it made the movie even more emotional with the soundtrack. Yeah, the soundtrack was beautiful in this movie. Like absolutely zero problems with the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack so much. So yeah, like I said, all the comic relief definitely works in this movie. Yeah, and then we get onto the pacing, which I thought this movie was so beautifully paced. Actually, like the pacing in this movie was so beautiful. Like I thought, like all the scenes were timed very well, and it went by really fast. Actually, this movie is 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it goes by really fast. Actually, like it's like the quickest 2.5 hours ever. Actually, yeah, it's just, the pacing, like it's cool. Like I love the pacing, actually. And now we get on to the special effects. Wow, just wow with the special effects. I love the special effects so much. Like they literally did it their all with this movie. Actually, like they literally did it their all with the special effects. Like they literally tried their hardest, and it literally worked so much. Like I love the special effects in this movie. Like it all looks so real, actually. Like all the scenes with all the scenes with using the stones, all the action scenes, they all look so real, actually. Like it all looks real. Like there's never a time where it looks fake. Like it all looks real. Like you believe that it looks real. Yeah, just the action is just, yeah. 10 out of 10 for the action. Like I love all the special effects. Yeah, it's just all beautifully done. Let me think. Yeah, this movie's very, very suspenseful too at times, and it works too. Like all the suspense definitely works with this movie. Like with him getting the stones and you not knowing what he's gonna do with the stones, if he's really gonna get all these stones, and it gets really suspenseful with that. And yeah, and it all works. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about this movie? I don't think I have any flaws with this movie. Actually, like this movie's flawless. I mean, almost flawless. Actually, like no movie is flawless. I would say, like no movie's flawless. Not even all the movies I give an A+ to aren't even flawless either. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about this movie? Okay, let's talk about the end battle now. I already talked about the Wakanda and all the scenes and all that, but let's talk about what happens in the very, very end. You should have gone for the head. Because when Thor literally, like, he comes in the last minute when he gets all the stones, he throws the axe at him, and Thanos uses all the stones to try to stop that axe, but it still gets to him. Like, even the stones can't can't resist that axe. It still gets to him and it still stabs him in the chest. And then Thor's there, and then like he's pressing the axe in, and then Thanos is like, you should have gone for the head. And then from there, literally everyone, I mean everyone was shocked when he snapped his fingers, including me. Like I literally, like I was like, my jaw literally dropped to the floor when I saw that scene. Like I literally, my jaw dropped to the floor. Like I was literally holding on to the blankets, because I didn't see this movie in theaters actually. Like I saw this on rental when it first came on rental. Like I was watching it in my room, and I literally put my hands in the cover, and like I was literally holding onto the covers. Yeah, I was literally like such in shock actually. Let me think. What else was I saying? So yeah, just when he snaps his fingers, Thor's like he sees his daughter. He sees his daughter in the orange room. I forgot what dialogue goes in there, but then Thanos is like, "What did you do?" And then Thanos teleports, and then from there, everyone vanishes. Like I mean almost everyone actually. Like half of life vanishes actually. Like all the awesome Avengers literally vanish. Like literally all the cool ones vanish. Literally what are their names? Let me try and think who vanishes. Spider-Man vanishes. That scene where he vanishes, I literally cried actually. Like where he's like, I don't feel so good, and then he's hugging Stark, and he's like, I don't want to go, Mr. Stark, and then he just lays down, and he's like, I'm sorry, and then he vanishes, which I thought that scene was just so sad actually. And then Star-Lord vanishes. Who else vanishes? Wanda vanishes. Black Panther vanishes, which I thought his vanish was funny, which I already said. This is no place to die. And then Drax vanishes. Literally half of the people vanish. Bucky vanishes, which when Bucky was the first one to vanish, and I was really sad when he vanished actually. And it still makes me sad to see all of them vanish to this day actually. Like, it still gets me very emotional when they all vanish. When they all turn into dust. And then who else vanishes? Groot vanishes. Literally the whole Guardians of the Galaxy vanishes actually, except for Rocket and Nebula. And then who else vanished? Like literally half of life gets vanished. And then yeah, just that whole scene I just thought was so sad. But the only ones that lived were the ones that survived in the first Avengers: Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America, Black Widow. All the ones from the first Avengers. They were the only ones that survived. Yeah. Let me think. So yeah, just that whole scene I just thought was so sad actually. Like definitely like it got me to the edge of my seat actually. And then with the last with like the with and then it's even more emotional when you see how emotional our main characters get to when everyone vanishes. And then the movie ends with Thanos just in a planet, and then he's just looking at the sunset, and then he smiles in relief that he did it, that he actually won. And then from there, that was a very shocking, that's the perfect way to end off the movie actually. Very perfect way to end off the movie. Literally everyone was in shock with seeing this movie. Like I said before, yes, like this movie definitely is one of the most darkest movies I've ever seen actually. I mean, in regards to PG-13 aspects, I would say. Let me think. So yeah, this movie I would definitely call it the most darkest of the whole MCU. Actually, like it's definitely the darkest out of the whole MCU. Yeah, it's just like literally like this movie is a masterpiece. I would say literally a masterpiece. Is it my favorite from the MCU? No, but very close though. I'm gonna give Avengers: Infinity War an A+. Yeah. Bye, and see you all in the next review.